guys, welcome back to my channel, welcome back to another video, welcome if you are new. Today, oh my god, my hair is just, I don't know what's going on top of my head, but today we are filming a video of finishing off my monthly TBR. I have 3 books left to read. I have like a week or so to read them, so I think it'll be absolutely fine, but I'm very excited to read them. So, this was my monthly TBR, picked out, shockingly, in the beginning of the month. There is a TBR video of me picking out these 8 books, but I have read 5 of them. That's 5. I've read 5 of them and there are still 3 more to read. So the ones I need to read are The Unhoneymooners, Twisted Love, and This Woven Kingdom. So those are the 3 I need to start. The first book I'm going to start with is Christina The Unhoneymooners. I read a lot of fantasy this month, so if I show you the books I've read so far in May, you can probably tell. I think apart from Powerless and Reckless and the 7 X's, and Hopeless, every other book is a fantasy. Like every single book I read this month is the same genre. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 fantasies. So I need some range and some different tastes and some different books. So we're taking a genre shift and we're going for The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren. This book follows 2 sisters, I don't know if they're twins, but 2 sisters. One always has like the best luck and one doesn't. And the one that has the best luck has basically arranged a free wedding because she's basically won everything that she needs to do the wedding, like the dress, the invites, the location, the band, the food. So she's like having the best luck. On her wedding day, they all get food poisoning, apart from the sister and the best man, who absolutely despise each other, but they get encouraged to go and take the honeymoon that the married couple should be on. That's like the gist of the book. I get the impression it's like complete enemies to lovers. It's like forced proximity. It's going to be a lot of fun. I've never read a Christina Lauren book. Like I know they have many books, and I don't know if I own any more of them. I think this is the only book from them that I own, but I've never read anything from this author and I'm very excited to read it. This was my book bought at a charity shop prompt, so this is going to be the first book we're going to read in this video. And I'm very excited. Today I'm filming at the same time a video of getting stuff done. So I don't know if today will be a huge amount of reading, but then tomorrow we're heading into London for a wedding, so I can read on the train up. And then on Monday it's a bank holiday, so I'm sure there will be loads of time to read, and I will obviously keep going until these books are done. But that is the plan. So let's roll on. A lovely week of reading. I hope you guys enjoy, and yeah, let's get started. We've got a sort of mid-book check-in. I'm now on page 157. It's very predictable. I mean, it's a romance story, so obviously there's a level of predictability to it, but I don't know, I can't quite pinpoint it. Like something isn't quite like, I think I've read too many fantasies recently, and so a contemporary fiction just isn't quite hitting the same nerve, but it's fun, it's quirky. The 2 main characters are quite like sweet together. Like they're supposed to hate each other, but they just so clearly don't. Like they say they hate each other to their own faces, but they behave, they act, and they treat like they actually do like each other. So I'm not really believing the whole enemies to lovers things. I'm just believing in the like don't want to admit your lovers to lovers thing. But it's fun, and it's a nice little like light-hearted setting. They're on the honeymoon of her twin sister's honeymoon that she was supposed to go on, and then because of like various situations they're having to pretend to be married, so they're having to pretend that they are the honeymooners on this honeymoon. And yeah, it's like fun. It's fun and it's quirky and it's easy to read, and I'm breezing through it, and yeah, it's a nice little palette cleanser. I think because I read whatever the second book after Fourth Wing is called, and I've got Onyx Storm, like I'm like a part of the way through Onyx Storm, so I think because of that this just isn't hitting in the same way, because it's just not the same kind of book, and I think I need to like disconnect the 2 from my brain. But it's fun and it's quirky, and I think if you're going on holiday and you wanted like a nice light-hearted book to read, this would be a really good option. It is many hours later, as you can probably tell by the fact that my makeup is off and I'm in my pyjamas. But I have been reading this book today and I am now on page 309. It's just so easy. Like, it's just a really like light-hearted, easy, not too serious book to read. I mean, I have to say, I think to me it sits at like the 3.54 stars. Like, it just sits as like a fun, easy read. I mean, it's a romance book, so I wouldn't say this is spoiling it, but there's some real feelings now involved. They're in the like, it's not really a third act breakup, but in the like that kind of stage of it. And there's a bit of like messy drama with her twin sister, is all I'm gonna say, which she's like wrestling with what to do next with, which is an interesting dilemma and a little bit of like a different twist on where the story would go. I'm currently listening to it on Spotify audiobook because I have been doing my little book journal. So I've done my tune spread, I've gone for strawberries, and then I've put the paper in ready for my TBR, and I've used this washi tape for the little books, as in so they look a bit like this. And then I've put the stars in underneath all the books that I've read so far in May. So yeah, I've been doing my little book journal while I've been listening to the audiobook. I now apparently have 2 hours left on the audiobook, or I don't know how many physical pages that is, 309 to about 100 pages left. So I'm 3/4 of the way through. I just finished the ebook for The Unhoneymooners by Christina. I'm gonna go with a 3 or a 3.5 star. Like, it was fun. It was easy. I breezed through it. I didn't have to think too much when I was reading it. The ending, in some ways you love, and in some ways, if that was real life, I'm not sure that's how it would end. But then again, it is a fiction book. But yeah, I liked it. I just didn't like love it. So 3 or 3.5 stars, somewhere in that region. So we're heading off to London in a minute to go to a wedding. So the other 2 books on my monthly TBR that I need to read are This Woven Kingdom by Tahereh Mafi, which is the same author as the Shatter Me series, and Twisted Love by Huang, which is the first book in this series. So these are the next 2 books, but we are packed. I have everything. It's actually really embarrassing, right? I have this bag from where I worked on the Wicked UK tour, and it means I now walk around with a Wicked bag, but it's actually a really good bag. And the strap here is a really good size for like throwing on your shoulder. Yes, I walk around with a Wicked branded bag, but it works. Anyway, so this is my little tray of bookmarks. There's 1 or 2 that I have that I'm like, don't know where, I need to put that in my bag. I don't know where they are, so that's the one I picked up yesterday. I've then got this one from Scotland. This one that like attaches itself to the page, which I think is what I'm going to take today. It's like magnetic. I've got these little like magnetic top ones, which are really good for if I'm just like reading at home. Just like magnet onto the page. I've got this one, which Alex bought me. And then I do have 2 more, but where they are right now, I don't know. But this is my little collection of bookmarks. I'm going to take that one for today. And they usually live in here. So I've packed my 2 bags. Honestly, this is in Uniqlo. I mean, everyone has this bag. If you want a bag that's good for carrying books around, you need this bag. Like, it is honestly perfect for book carrying. So it fits 2 paperbacks in it, or like 1 big paperback in it, and it still zips up. I have made it, and I have like started to get ready. We're gonna go out for lunch in a minute, and then when I get back, I'm gonna finish off my hair, but I've curled it to begin with. I need to try and find some kind of like Boots or Superdrug and buy some hairspray, because I realised I didn't bring any with me. But I was reading this book on the way in. I've got to page 147. I feel similar to this how I felt about Shatter Me. Like, the Tahereh Mafi's writing style is very different in this book to in Shatter Me. I can't remember if Shatter Me is in first person, but it's definitely like you're very much in, I can't remember what name to give her without it being a spoiler. Like, it's in the main character's like point of view, and you kind of have like her absolute stream of consciousness, which for me took a long time to like get used to and not hate. This is in third person, so it's more he and the characters' names and all that kind of stuff, rather than like I am having a mental breakdown. But I don't know what it was about this world. It took me a little bit of like, it took me about 50 pages to be like, what on earth is going on and why do I care about these people whatsoever? Which I know is like the point of a new fantasy series, but it kind of felt like it took me longer than I would normally take. But now I'm into it and I know what the characters are, I know where the secrets are, and like some things have been discovered and already been revealed. I am actually really enjoying it. And the thing that I am really enjoying is in this book, the main character is the heir to a throne, and that is not a spoiler, it's on the back of the book. And I actually quite like that it's kind of said in like the first 30 pages, so you don't have this like, I don't know, whole book of these two people falling in love for you to discover as the reader and also as the main character that they are an heir to a throne right at the end of the book, and then that changes the entire relationship and progression into the next book. And while so many of my favourites have that trope, and I don't hate the trope, it kind of like annoys me slightly. Like, why is that the trope in every single book? This one is like said outright, and the prince, who is the male love interest, basically does like a blood analysis on her, and I think he knows pretty early on. So I think like there's not much secrets, like there are but there aren't. So I'm enjoying going into it actually knowing this and not it being like a reveal towards the end of the book. The writing does feel a little bit YA, but I would say it's in the kind of like 18-year-old YA rather than like the 14-year-old YA. So yeah, I'm enjoying it. I'm not like obsessed yet, but it took me to I think book 3 in the Shatter Me series for me to be obsessed, and I'm definitely enjoying this a lot more than the first book of Shatter Me. So take of that what you will, and I will check in with you guys when I've read some more. I really enjoy how there's like a vlog that I don't know where it'll be in relation to this, of me basically having a weekend in London and then kind of like a nice chill bank holiday afternoon, and this reading vlog that are basically like the same scenes but different content. Anyway, we've made it back from London. I have made it a decent way through this book since we last caught up. I'm currently on page, page number. Currently on page 372. So there's about 100 pages left. I'm enjoying the overall story. Like, I'm enjoying the overarching plot. You have a queen of a kind of like kingdom that no longer exists, or queendom that no longer exists, and then you have the prince of the kingdom that now lives over that queendom, if that makes sense. She is like powerful, he I think is just like a normal human being, and they're kind of falling in love, sort of. And apart from that, not a lot else is happening. So while I'm enjoying the like setup of the plot, it does kind of feel like we're still in the introduction of a story rather than like near the end of the first book. Like, it kind of feels like nothing has happened. And I don't know if anyone else has read this book or this series and feels the same way. But yeah, it like, she's kind of undercover working as a like maid in the royal household. He's obviously the prince. It's kind of all that's happened. Like, nothing really has happened. He's discovered who she is. They've had a kiss. Now they're going to a ball. That's it. That is what's happened in 370 pages of a book. So it's very slow. Like, it's slow burn in every single way, shape or form. But I feel like it's going to be a good setup for a good series, but it's just taking a long time to get there. I finished this book. The ending was weird. Like, a dragon appears, which just was so left field and so like, what? And I feel like the ending of this book is quite similar to the ending of another popular romantasy series. That's all I'm gonna say. And that one shook me to my core, but in like a, oh my god, I can't wait to like read and work out what's gonna happen next, and I'm so excited. This one, same cliffhanger pretty much. Same cliffhanger, and I was like, why? Like, what? There was something really weird about the ending of this book. I'm giving it a 3 or a 3.33. There's a lot of good things about this book. The overarching plot, yeah, that's it. I'm enjoying like where the plot could go, and the introduction of the few different realms who are all kind of fighting for power. And I'm really excited to see where the second, third, fourth, etc. books go in this series. But this book, in its own right, I don't think was a particularly strong book. I'm going to add it to the little pile of books I've read in this video. And next up, we have Twisted Love by Huang. This is from a series of books, which is called the Twisted series, which I believe is about billionaires or like really rich people falling in love. So this is what it says on the back of the book. Alex Volkov is a devil blessed with the face of an angel and cursed with a past he can't escape. Driven by a tragedy that has haunted him for most of his life, his ruthless pursuits for success and vengeance leave little room for matters of the heart. But when he's forced to look after his best friend's sister, he starts to feel something in his chest. A crack, a melt, a fire that could possibly end the world as he knew it. Ava Chen is a free spirit trapped by nightmares of a childhood she can't remember. But despite her broken past, she's never stopped seeing the beauty in the world, including the heart beneath the icy exterior of a man she shouldn't want. Her brother's best friend, her neighbour, her saviour and her downfall. Theirs is a love that was never supposed to happen, but when it does, it unleashes secrets that could destroy them both and everything they hold dear. Like, that sounds unnecessarily dramatic. But yeah, this is going to be the next and last book of this video. And then when I've read this book, I have finished my May TBR and it's currently the 26th of May. So I'm making good time. I think when I finish this book, I'm going to go back into like finishing off some series. Yeah, this is the next book on the list. It's later the same day. I have made a start on this book. I am on page 65. I'm actually really enjoying it. So you have a grumpy billionaire, 6, somewhere around there, year old, who is like super smart, super controlled, giving like Christian Grey type energy, and he clearly likes his partners in that kind of similar vein to 50 Shades of Grey. And then you have the female main character, Ava, who is in university. She's a bit more kind of like positive and hopeful and a little bit naive, but in like quite a cute little quaint way. And Alex, who's the main male character, his best friend goes away travelling and his best friend asks him to keep an eye out on his sister Ava. And that's kind of like where we're at. He's like stepped in and like helped her in a few situations that I don't really feel like he needed to step in on. Like, I get that she was probably making some stupid decisions, but like those were her decisions. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it kind of feels like a little bit like he's slightly overstepping, but I'm still having a good time. I am enjoying it and I'm excited to see where the story's going to go. As I said, I'm only 65 pages in, so I haven't read too much. Yeah, and I'm actually really enjoying the writing style. Like, for example, this is the beginning of the story. This is the second paragraph. The main character is stuck out in a rainstorm. She goes, "There are worse things than being stranded in the middle of nowhere during a rainstorm. For example, I could be running from a rabid bear intent on mauling me into the next century, or I could be tied to a chair in a dark basement and forced to listen to Aqua's Barbie Girl on repeat until I'd rather gnaw off my arm than hear the song's eponymous phrase again. Just because things could be worse didn't mean they didn't suck." There is something about this writing style that's just quite fun. Morning. It is beautifully sunny, as you can probably tell behind me. And I think this is like the second thing I've said all day apart from good morning. So my voice is struggling, but I am up, I'm dressed. It is Tuesday morning and I have made it about halfway through this book. I think I'm about 40% of the way through according to Goodreads. I can see why people would hate this book. I can see where some of the hate for this book is, but I'm actually having a really fun time. Like, there's certain bits of it that's cringy, there's certain bits of it that I don't know why some of the characters are making some of the decisions they are, but it's just a lot of fun. Like, it's not even fun because some of the things that he thinks are like, the two characters are like so determined to not, but also to at the same time. There's been, I think now 2 kisses, I think. And the last one, he was like, "Never again. I'm protecting you from me." It very much is giving 50 Shades of Grey. It's not quite as, well, at least at the moment it's not quite as provocative or as smutty, but in terms of like the plot and basically what's happening, it's basically 50 Shades of Grey. So, I finished the book on the train to work today, and I made some notes so I didn't forget the thoughts I had, because that's my problem, I forget things immediately. I'm thinking 70 things all at the same time. I have this like thing where my long-term memory is really good, but my short-term memory is terrible. So if I don't like commit something, I will forget it immediately, but once I've committed it, it's there and it's going nowhere. So when I last spoke to you guys, I said this book wasn't particularly smutty. I then went immediately into like the most smuttiest of scenes. Like I think it was literally the next chapter, and then from then onwards it was pretty spicy. Like the spice escalated. I still don't think it's as bad as 50 Shades of Grey, but like it was present. So there are a couple of things okay, fine. I gave it 3 stars. That is the vibe where I sat at the end of this book. I enjoyed my time reading it. I thought it was like fun, easy. There were some serious topics in there, but fun, easy, light-hearted, enjoyable kind of book. And so for that reason, I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the main female character, Ava, has a fear or a phobia of water. And I really enjoyed the growth that she went through to kind of overcome that fear. And I quite enjoyed the like thriller subplot of this book where there's like this weird drama with parents and whatnot, and that's all I'm gonna say. But I actually really enjoyed the like thriller subplot that was like weirdly also in this book. Then there was some weird stuff. One of her best friends is just casually a princess, and I think they may have set the next book up for that to be the character of the next book. I'm not sure, but like random, weird. There's a breakdown of trust in this book, as there is in most romance stories, and I felt like the build back up afterwards. I think in the book it happens over a relatively long time span, but as a reader it felt like it happened very fast, and I was like, what? And I know it's supposed to be a character trait of her that she's like very trusting and very kind of like light-hearted and happy and positive, but it just felt a little bit too quick and a little bit unbelievable. You then have like some other weird stuff, and some of the typos in this book. I wrote 11299. They're like small typos, but there were a few of them. It says, oh yeah, if you think I'm letting her go to another country alone with no protection, you've got another think coming rather than thing coming. And there were just like a few things like that in this book that they took me a few seconds to adjust to. And then I even sent this as a quote to my best mate because I thought it was absolutely hilarious. But this is a line from the book which says everything you need to say. I would much rather be eating her out on our bed than eating takeout at my desk. Did that need to be said? Was that a sentence that needed to exist? No. No, it didn't. So yeah, there were certain parts of this book that I was like, I don't know why this is here, or what, or that's not believable. But overall I had a good time, which is why I gave it 3 stars. But like, I wouldn't say, I do hear that the next books are better. So I will keep reading this series and we shall see. So yeah, I feel like this was not the most positive of book reads. I think I gave everything a 3 star. Yeah, I gave everything in the region of a 3 star. So the first book I read was The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren. This is what I mean when I forget everything. I remember the plot, but I don't remember what I thought about it. I feel like I just remember this bit being kind of average. You just watched me review this book. I've already forgotten everything about it, and I think that's basically why I gave it 3 stars. Like, I remember the plot, I remember what happened, but I don't really remember what I thought about it. We then read This Woven Kingdom, which I did retain into memory because it's part of a series. This, for me, good plot, weird pacing. So I'm excited to see where the next book goes. I gave this a 3.5. And then this book, you've obviously just watched me round up. I gave this book 3 star. There were some elements in this book that I found a bit awkward. So those are the books I read this week. We have now finished off, ticked off and wrapped up the monthly TBR. So if you watched my June TBR where I said I had 3 books left to go, know that I have indeed read those 3 books. So every single book on the monthly TBR has been read. I have to say, it wasn't as positive a TBR as I thought when I initially pulled it. Iron Flame and Kingdom of Ash and Apprentice to the Villain, all perfect books. An Ember in the Ashes, great series, a little bit up and down. I gave the first book 4 stars, but then I think the rest of them were all 5. And then I think everything else was in the 3 star range. So Twisted Love, This Woven Kingdom, Reckless by Elsie Silver, and The Unhoneymooners, all 3 stars. So a fairly mixed TBR, 5 stars and 3 stars, and 1 4 star. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I managed to tick off another TBR, which honestly I feel some weird immense level of elation and relief when I finish my monthly TBR. I don't get it. I finished, I feel proud, I feel happy, and now I'm gonna just mood read the last 4 days of the month, albeit I am now reading Onyx Storm, which I feel like is gonna take me the rest of the month. So that is my mood read. But yeah, I really hope you guys enjoy. If you did, give this video a thumbs up, click subscribe, leave a comment, let me know what you're reading, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!